Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to find out about your boyfriend's baby on the way? No, neither are we.
On the way.
Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. We are here talking about Felicity, season 4, episode 12, Future Shock. I'm Jess Sterling, and of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, we don't have to talk about this episode if we don't want to.
Oh my God. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Like, what, not us. What is the show doing?
I still don't know. I'm telling you, if you want to stop and talk about any other television episode of anything, I will do so.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about? I will talk about it.
Let's see. For one, I'm on book 3 of the, what is it, Fourth Wing series or whatever, Onyx Storm.
Wow, you're such a literary girly. Are you
you're
just loving reading?
I'm in a reading moment now. That moment definitely will end at some point because I'm not known for me keeping to my hobbies.
Yeah.
But for now, that's what's happening, which has honestly been pretty good because it's been freaking raining. If you live in New York, you understand my pain. It has been raining for what feels like months. And so obviously reading is, something you can do when it's raining outside. So yeah, that's about it. What about you?
I have no hobbies. When's the next time you're going to the lake?
Going to the lake. So originally I was supposed to go like last weekend, but the weather was a garbage. I'm going at the end of this month, actually.
Yeah. That's your hobby. That's your passion in life.
Oh, that is a passion of my life and something that never gets old.
No.
But yeah, that's what I've been reading.
Good.
I don't know. What have you been up to? What are you reading?
Nothing. Well, okay, not really. I'm not really reading anything, but I have a book. It's a book. It's a real life book. It's a book.
I'm starting to feel suspicious about this if it's an actual real life book.
It could not be a book. No, it's I am like a couple of chapters in. I didn't really significantly start. It is a book.
Okay.
That's called You Didn't Hear This From Me. It's by the
that's the gossip one, right?
It's written by a podcaster that's a far better podcaster than us.
Yeah, Normal Gossip.
Yeah,
right.
My favorite podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, if you don't want to listen to this episode of Felicity, maybe you should go listen to that.
Go listen to that podcast.
You want to hear something crazy? And like, I don't know if you know this, but like, I'm kind of annoyed that nobody told me because Normal Gossip, number one, switched hosts.
Yeah.
I did not know that until like
I figured you knew before me because I don't listen to it regularly. I go through like fits and spurts and spits and furts. Anyway, fits and starts, is that
no
of listening to that podcast. I'll listen to like a bunch in a row. But I did know they changed hosts. I haven't really listened though, I have to be honest, and it's not because they change hosts. I haven't caught up on it, so I don't know how good it still is, but yeah,
it's pretty good. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today because during Christmas time, the new host and the old host did a special Christmas episode, and you'll never guess what they covered.
I listened to it.
And you didn't tell me about that?
I think the thing is I listened to it while I was in the middle of doing like I was driving or I was doing something where my hands were occupied because of course you were the first person I thought of. Yeah. And I was like, I knew immediately what movie they were talking about because the plot is so ridiculous. It's Christmas Ghost, aka what is the actual name?
It's called The Spirit of Christmas, but we fondly call it Hot Christmas Ghost.
Hot Christmas Ghost, yeah.
And it was wild that my favorite shitty Christmas movie was covered by my favorite podcast. Mm-hmm. Like I was just like, this is like, like the phrase, like I built this for you page brick by brick.
Yes.
It was essentially that. Like I
Yeah.
built this thing brick by brick. This was specifically for me. The question is, you know, sometimes we're like, who are we doing this for? Who are we podcasting for? The question somewhere out there was asked, who are we podcasting Hot Christmas Ghost for? And the answer is Sarah Jillian Humphrey. That is the answer. It was for me. It was incredible. But yeah, I'm doing my little walkies. I'm trying to get to 4,102 loops around the block. And if I do, then I get to go to Paris. So
I may need a little bit more of okay.
So
I have multiple questions. Okay, so we have 4,120
and 2.
Is there a reason that number was selected?
That's how many miles it takes to get from Indiana to Paris.
So you must walk the number of miles it would take if you were to walk to
the amount of loops. Now a loop is 0.7 miles.
How many loops are you doing a day?
Base minimum, I want to do 5, which rounds out to like 3.5, 4 miles, which I could do. I do that.
Okay.
I walk like 5, like my base is like I need to walk 5 miles, 5 loops, and then I'll get to Paris in like 2 years.
Okay. And is this one of those weird bet situations?
Of course it is.
Okay.
With my husband. Of course it is. Yeah. He is the one that made the rules, and he is the one that continues to make all the rules. Pretty much. Not in like a weird like Handmaid's Tale way. Just in like
I would hope not.
Just in a like he's the purveyor of the shit. So yeah, I'm at 130.
Well, this is a new bet then.
It's been going on for like a month and a half, 2 months, but like I've only started to take it seriously.
Yeah.
This month I got to 100 loops. That's a lot of loops.
Have you considered dedicating like an entire day to looping? Just to like build up some like some bank some loops.
That's a lot of loops. I don't know. My legs will probably fall off.
I mean, it would be a lot. You'd be sore the next day.
But I mean, I've done 2 hours of looping, and then I got a nasty sunburn. Remember when I came in with like that sunburn? That was
I didn't say anything, but just know that there was judgment.
Yeah, that was the day that I did 2 hours of loops, and I came out burned.
Okay, so this loop is under a mile, so you're not looking ridiculous like walking in circles.
I am, and the funny thing is like for months, I was like, for a year, we've almost been in our home for a year. I was like, all of our neighbors are fucking assholes. They don't say like, they're not friendly. They're
not neighborly.
Anything. It was because I didn't really leave the house. Now I know everybody.
Now you're looping.
I'm looping, and people recognize me as the girl who loops, and they wave at me.
Oh, so you've earned the waves now.
Yeah,
from
now
looping.
like people acknowledge me and my.
Do you bring Belle on your loops?
She can't hang on the loops. She gets to like a quarter of the loop, and then she's like, I don't want to.
I'm done with this loop.
I mean, she has been on a full loop before, but she's not a good hanger, and she like messes up my miles per minute.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Now, do you have looping shoes? What kind of shoes?
I do. Hokas. Hokas are the best shoes. I love my Hokas. Yeah.
Okay. I need new sneakers soon because mine have like the treads are really wearing out. But I'm a Kizik girly.
I know you are. But Hokas are actually extremely good shoes. They were probably the best shoes that I have ever worn ever. They're very comfortable.
Oh, wow. Also, can I tell you something? I'm considering. So I need this. Who cares about? We'll get to this episode of Felicity. I promise at some point. But I need to get sandals this year because I just really need some like good sandals so that I could just throw them on my feet, whatever.
What's your plan?
I don't want to get flip-flops because I know they're not good for your feet. Like they're not good support. They're bad because you like grip your toes to keep them on. It's like a whole thing. So I want like a proper sandal, and I want a sandal that's going to last me. Like I don't want to buy a sandal for 1 year. I want to buy a sandal that'll last. And you know me, I'm not a shoe girly. No, I'm like, I buy one or two things.
One answer for you. There is only one answer.
Okay.
It is Birkenstocks.
See, the thing is, Birkenstocks, I personally don't find them very pretty. But the brand I'm about to say, I think most people would say are probably pretty hideous. So
What's that?
I'm thinking of getting
No.
Tevas.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something much worse.
No, and there are cuter Tevas. Like, I don't
Mhm.
need to get like the hiking Tevas because like your
Mhm.
girl's not hiking, but I want to
Yeah.
get sandals that have a support on the bottom because I have flat feet and I need support, you know?
They're a little, yeah, they're pretty ugly. They're pretty ugly.
My shoes or my feet or my shoes?
No, not your feet. I haven't seen your
Oh,
feet in a really
my
long
feet are
time.
pretty ugly, so
And
I won't
I
blame you.
don't want to, oh my God, you want to hear something also funny?
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually okay. So you know how like people sell their feet
Oh, and Wiki. Yeah, for like yeah,
for
yeah.
cash?
Yeah.
Now I don't have like the feet to be sold. I just don't. My toe to foot ratio is really bad. Like
Yeah,
my
you have
toes,
teeny tiny small toes.
I have
Yeah.
tiny ass toes.
There's like no nail.
And I barely have toenails. So
Yeah.
like that's hilarious that you remember my feet, but I don't remember your feet.
I because I remember this being a sticking point with you that you
Yeah.
were very upset that you had almost no nail on the
Yeah.
littlest toe because we
Yeah.
talked about this when it comes to like pedicures and stuff.
Yeah. So like I have tiny toes. My foot to toe ratio is not great. I'm not gonna make any money. However,
Mm-hmm.
there is one person in my house that has beautiful feet.
Ew,
Yes, he
no.
does. Adam has the most gorgeous feet especially for a guy. They are
Is that possible though? Because feet are just like disgusting
no
in
feet
general.
are gross, but he has really good looking feet.
I
So
know why.
why?
Because he's an indoor kid.
He is an Arctic
And
kid.
indoor kids have nice feet because guess what?
Yeah.
They haven't gone through the trials and tribulations that outdoor kids have.
He's not looping. He's not. Sometimes
He's
he
not
loops.
looping.
No, but he does. Adam literally spends 2 hours a day on the bike. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
He did 45 miles yesterday on the bike. I know.
That's a lot.
I know.
Does he sit the whole time?
He's up and down, up and
I
down.
feel like my butt would hurt after that much time.
Oh, it does. Pelotons hurt your ass. That's for sure. But anyway, he has gorgeous feet. So I took some pictures of his feet and I think I'm going to sell his feet. And I said to him, Adam, what happens if they want to like you to put like peanut butter between your toes? Like what happens if they want you to like hold pens? And he's like, I'll do it for the cash.
This'll fund the trip to Paris.
Yeah. So
I love this idea for you guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sell Adam's feet pics.
Perfect. Do it.
Yeah.
He's got the goods.
He does have the goods. And you know what it is? He also has like very pretty hands for a guy, like piano fingers. He is
yeah.
piano man Adam, I guess.
I bet too, he probably has like, because I know he has large feet, which may be a rarity. So maybe he could even like, that bumps up the price a little bit.
Maybe it's a rarity. Maybe he does.
I'm just saying, like, he has larger feet than most people, I think. So,
how
like,
do you know about his feet?
he talks about them all the time.
Oh, he
I listen to
does?
his podcasts. Yeah, he says that he sometimes gets shoes from like his relatives because they'll bump into like seeing his shoe size out in public and be like, Adam probably needs these.
That is true. He told me.
I'm not saying anything he has not said in a public forum.
He said that he hadn't bought shoes for like 15 years of his life because his relatives just kept giving him shoes.
And I know he's also the type that he wears flip-flops even when it's very cold. That's like the most Midwestern thing about him, I think.
Yeah. He loves his flippies. That's
you should tell him they're bad for his foot support and that he needs to get some.
Well, only if only if we don't get if he messes up his feet and we can't get the nice cash.
I can't wait to get the update on his Wiki Feet adventures.
Yeah. Do you want to see some of the sexy pics
of his feet? No.
Actually, I forgot we're on video now, so I can't give up the goods for free. But I do have like 5 pictures of
Yeah, so you can't put them on here because then it would be you're like cutting into your market.
Yeah, I can't. I forgot that we record this.
Yeah, people are seeing our faces. Also, worst possible episode for me to have just be displaying my new Felicity art behind me.
We can't see it anyway. It says no, it's a time machine, and then it's
a little too small.
There's a trash bin.
It's not a trash bin. It's a film canister.
It's like, those metal trash bin covers. That's what it is. Or it looks like a sewer cover.
It's a film reel case.
Oh.
And it says #Team Ben, right where my fingers are if you're watching us on video.
Want to talk about Felicity?
I guess.
You're
This
gonna
episode,
put in 15 minutes until we talk about the episode in the
yeah.
notes so that people stop complaining.
Oh, okay, true. I will. 15 minutes.
Yep.
Felicity starts.
So
Great.
we have 50 seconds left to bullshit.
Yeah, future shock. So basically, this episode we find out that Lauren is pregnant because this is like we have a time gap here between last episode and this episode. They took like a winter break. And now they're back. And apparently we're back to sending tape recordings to Sally. Like, when did this happen?
The show was like, you know what? Remember that time that we used to send tape recordings to a ghost? Maybe we should pick that up again now that we have 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
you know what?
we need to get on
At the very least, we're gonna find out in under 10 episodes if Sally is alive or not.
At this point, I don't know if we're going to meet Sally.
She's
You
been
think
dead the whole time.
You think Janine Galopoulos Islands is going to come up and be like, "Hi, I'm part of Felicity now"? I don't think so. When was the last time she did a voiceover?
No, I think it's going to be like, and this is huge Gossip Girl spoilers. So anyone who is going to Gossip Girl, just like go ahead a couple seconds. This is kind of like Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell was the voice of Gossip Girl, but like it was Joe from You the whole time.
Right. She did make an appearance in the show. Actually, Kristen Bell did.
Yeah.
But you're right. The voice was AI. It was basically like, you know that movie where that guy had the like AI girlfriend? Oh no, that's every movie. Never mind. Simone? Is that something?
I don't know what you're talking
That's every
about.
movie, actually. Simone, the AI
What?
girlfriend.
What is this? I've never heard of this.
Simone. Her name is Simone. It wasn't AI. It was a robot girlfriend.
Okay. Is this a newer movie? Is it an
No,
old
it was
movie?
500 years old.
Okay, well then I definitely don't know
Ugh,
that.
I don't remember. Okay.
But yeah, so Sally, apparently we're still doing the Sally thing. Do we want to just start with the headline of Ben and his baby mama drama?
He's a fucking moron.
He's an idiot and a moron.
Okay, now
twice.
this is the thing. You know, I don't want to shame anybody.
I do.
But he's been through this already. We already learned that he had a oopsie baby.
We have done this storyline,
Like
and
3
we've done it
times.
with our main character of Felicity, and now we're doing it again.
Oh wait, I forgot that Felicity had a pregnancy scare. I was thinking
This
about
season.
Noel. I was thinking about Noel's pregnancy scare. I was thinking about the first time that Ben had an oopsie baby in college. Like, how many pregnancies? And, you know, I'm kind of glad that this time there's actually going to be a baby. Oh, no, there was a baby with Avery. But, like, I guess there was a baby. He's not going to have a baby. This whole thing is so stupid. This is a waste of my breath. We have run out of Post-its on the Post-it wall, and we're going to have to, you know.
We're repeating storylines because this isn't even Ben's first pregnancy scare. It's his third because, like you said, the oopsie baby, the first time we heard about it, then Noel and Ben had a pregnancy scare when Felicity was possibly pregnant, and now Ben's actually going to father a child because Lauren, who he slept with like I think one time around Thanksgiving, is now pregnant. She's keeping it. She just wanted to like give him the heads up. He does the thing that grinds my gears, okay, people? Because when a woman says to you, "You're the only person I've slept with in the past like 4 months," and this woman, this specific person, has literally never been deceitful to you, like never. She's not lied to you over anything. Never. You weren't even dating. She wasn't cheating. Nothing like that. And you're like, but is it mine? Are you sure? Are you sure it's mine?
It's the audacity for me.
Yeah.
And this is the craziest thing. Like, you would think that Ben would know better and use a fucking condom or like communicate about birth control. Like, what the actual fuck? I think he's just out there like raw dogging everybody. This is insanity.
I guess I never thought about that because I don't think we ever heard them say.
Does he not pull out? At least pull out. Be respectable.
This is a great question. What kind of person is Ben? Ben seems like the kind who's like Oh, I thought you would have the condoms.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because he's
Yeah.
a trash goblin, but he should know better since he has like previous mistakes. The first time, yeah, you were just a kid, like you were in high school,
Yeah.
mistakes, yeah, whatever. The second time, well, at least you were with somebody that you really liked, but still, I don't know, maybe you should know better. The third time, shame on you. Shame on you,
Yeah.
you fucking moron, idiot.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Exactly.
It's so
Exactly.
stupid.
Yeah,
It's so
no, he should
stupid. And
know better.
Lauren's like, listen, Lauren's doing the best thing, right? She's like, I'm letting you know, but I am keeping it. You don't have to be involved. I just wanted you to know. And I was like, you know what?
Sure.
Kudos to you, Lauren. Kudos to you for like, first of all, telling him
Yeah.
and being like, I know this is a lot. You don't have to be involved. She didn't even say like, I'm gonna sue your ass for child support. Cause like she could. She literally
She's
could.
like, you're gonna have doctor money one day. I don't know how, but you will.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, Ben, run off right now. Go fly and get your little education. Cause soon half that money is mine when you become a
Yeah.
doctor and to father your child or, pay for your child,
I don't even
Ben.
know if I blame Lauren because she's like 45 years old and her days are numbered. to
Oh,
have
she
a child.
probably was like, I don't have a ton of eggs left, so I'm gonna keep this one.
She's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I mean, he probably has super sperm. She's like, I do this all the time and I haven't gotten pregnant.
Listen, we've seen Ben run. His sperm are probably just as fast as swimmers. As he
yeah.
is.
So
Wait,
I
didn't
don't-
he swim too? He was on swim team
Yeah.
too. That
Yeah.
proves it. All swimmers have very fast sperm.
Wow, facts.
Imagine
You
that
wouldn't-
guy Ryan Lochte or whatever, the
Yeah.
Olympian.
Uh-huh.
His sperm fucking shoot out like a cannon, probably.
I wonder if there's something. I mean, I'm not quite sure. He's probably on steroids, but anyway,
Not Ryan Lochte. What's the other guy's name?
I don't know which one's the one.
The one that was a
smoked
stoner.
ton of pot. Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Yeah,
Him.
and that was such a controversy too. It's like, oh no, he
Get
got
outta here.
spotted with pot.
The
Who
guy
the
needs to
fuck
fucking
cares?
relax, okay? Give him a
Yeah,
moment to
pot scam.
decompress. He's an Olympian.
He's a dumb
Maybe he
Olympian.
just does edibles now because, Anyway,
Mhm.
so yeah, and all of this is going on simultaneously. He's like doing these like very special projects for his doctor class, his like
Wait,
chemistry
he got
class.
a special Michael Phelps.
That's
He
it.
got a special project. He says, just like Elwood's.
Yes, he
Yeah.
got assigned a special project by this professor who we know is a hard ass.
Mhm.
But the problem is because he's like, I might be a dad. He's all fucked up in the head so much that Trevor has to be the one to be like, bro, you almost just ruined the whole thing.
Oh,
Trevor.
no. Yeah,
The
Trevor.
dum-dum, remember?
Exactly. It's kind of like if your B-list, you're not B-list, your type B friend makes the plans.
We're
then
all
you
in
know you're
trouble.
doomed.
You
Yeah.
know, that is so spot on
Yeah.
that you know you're doomed if
Mhm.
that's the case. And so he like done fucks up. He makes a big mistake because he like misses a
He
rotation or
doesn't
whatever.
show up to check the goop.
Yeah. Trevor covers for him, but the professor is like, you're off the project.
You're gone. You're
Yeah.
gone. We don't have
Then-
time for you to fuck up. You're off because this is
Yeah,
like a
yeah, you're
research
gone.
project. It's under his name. It doesn't have anything to do with school. Blah 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 blah
But
blah.
he could possibly get like a little, I don't know if he gets like a footnote or something of Ben's name on it. If like
Mhm.
he helps, who knows?
You know, like when you're watching a movie and there's like 10 minutes of credits, and at the very end,
He's that last
special
one.
thanks to
Yeah.
Ben, whatever the fuck his last name is.
Covington, I think.
Covington. But it's like in tiny ass font. And it's like
You need a
literally-
magnifying glass.
It's
Yeah.
literally like the last blob. And you're like,
Mhm.
bitch, like I just want to see what like special Easter egg the next.
Yeah, I want to
movie
see the
is.
after credits.
Yeah. It's like I don't care
Yeah.
about Ben Covington. and
Yeah, so
Trevor.
he gets kicked off the project. And meanwhile, he does find out because he gets a paternity test. Yeah, the baby's his. Surprise,
And this was
surprise.
also kind of crazy because I mean, like, I guess I don't run into paternity tests very often. Of course, I know like DNA tests, paternity tests after the baby's born. I watched plenty of Maury growing up, but
Yeah.
like he really got Lauren to like go in with the needle and take out like the placenta blood.
Yeah,
and
because it's
test
like a
it.
whole the amniocentesis. Isn't that what it is to do
That's
it? Like the needle is like a
massive
foot
word.
long or something crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Lauren like gave him the rope. I would be
Because-
like, if
yeah,
I was
because-
Lauren, I'd be like, yeah, I'll give you a paternity test, but I'm doing it after the baby's born. You
Yeah,
fucking
I agree.
moron.
Because I guess unless she was doing, because people do that sort of a test anyway for other things. So maybe she was doing it
Mhm.
anyway. But yeah, he like finds out he's the father. And so in his infinite wisdom, he's like, listen, I'm either going to fuck up on these projects because I'm so distracted with the fact that I'm going to be a dad, or I could just not be a dad and pass my classes.
Which is,
And-
I guess, fine. But the reasoning, like, I suppose he does have a right to choose if he
Sure.
wants to be in it or not. I don't really want to get into the moral implications of that right now. I don't have, like, nobody wants to hear my opinion on that sort of thing. But but also he's like, it's not even because like, like I'm not like fiscally responsible enough, like I'm not ready, I'm not mentally there, blah, blah, blah. It's just that I need to go to my doctor classes, so I can't be a dad right now. Like this is getting in the way of me being doctoring.
Yeah. It's it's just like it's just the way he says, like, yeah, it wasn't anything I had planned right now. It's like,
Mhm.
did anybody have this on their bingo card, Ben? Like,
No.
she didn't plan for this either, and yet it's happening. And so, like, I also hated the way when he does go back to the professor, he's like, the thing that was in the way isn't in the way anymore. And I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
And
Like,
then on top
ugh.
of all of this, he's literally not telling anybody.
Yeah.
Except Trevor. He's not telling Felicity for the majority of the episode. He's not telling the professor who's literally like, hey, like, is there anything that I can do or do you want to talk about it?
Mhm.
He's just telling his dumb friend Trevor. And I don't know. I thought that was kind of crazy too. Eventually he does tell Felicity, but also after he's like, I dealt with it. You don't have to worry about it.
Dealt with it like you didn't deal with anything, my
I was like,
guy.
there's still like the
There's
baby
still a
floating
baby
around.
coming.
Yeah.
Like the craziest, he says the craziest shit. So he says, so what he says, I've been thinking a lot about what you said. This is to Lauren, and about how it's my choice whether to be a part of this or not. I can't. It's already messing with my life. I can't let that happen. I'm sorry. And she says, no, you don't have to feel bad about it. And he's like, well, I do. I'm going to feel bad about it for a long time. I know what I want, and raising a kid isn't it. And it's like the audacity of the line, it's already messing with my life. Like it hasn't been messing with Lauren's life for the months that she's been pregnant. You
Yeah.
fuckhead. Like
Yeah.
it is the audacity of this man to just put his dick where it doesn't belong and then not deal with the consequences. Like
Well,
it
yeah,
is
because like
infuriating.
he had to, like, he did the same thing in high school with the other baby. Like,
But I think didn't she
she
wait,
got
did she get an abortion? I
she
don't
got
remember.
an abortion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
But also, I don't know, like once again, you just like would think, I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of people that don't learn. Like there's plenty of people that are pretty irresponsible. I mean, just look, like freaking Nick Cannon and Elon Musk has 72 children. Like each, essentially.
And what beacons of society they are, you
Well,
know?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's
There's
just really
plenty of
funny.
men that are super irresponsible, just
Yeah.
spreading their disgusting seed everywhere and not facing any consequences. Do you think that all 3,700 kids hang out with Nick Cannon on Father's Day? Father's Day is nearly weeks away. Nobody's going to be hanging out with Daddy Nick Cannon.
Think about all the
Nobody.
gifts he gets on Father's
No
Day.
gifts. No gifts.
Because he's too busy paying for all the kids. So yeah, Ben apparently is going to be a dad, but he's also not going to be a dad because he like isn't have time for a
Oh,
baby.
he's gonna be a dad. He's gonna be
It's
a
so
dad.
ridiculous.
We can't just like walk away from this and be like deuces. I mean, he can because once again, plenty of men do. But also, I don't know, like just like the audacity. And then like in 18 years, the kid's gonna, just like Julie, is gonna come up and be like, "Hi, I'm your dad," and freaking what's his face? Ben is gonna be like, No,
I deserted you when I was in
he was
college.
like, you know what? Like, I
Actually,
couldn't handle it at the time, and I still can't. Bye.
okay, let's take bets. Are we ever going to meet Ben's baby? Be it like
Yes.
like flash forward, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like epilogue-y
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. His name is gonna be like
No.
no. That would be absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
What is his baby's name? I was gonna say Ben, but his name is Ben. Ben Jr.
What if it's his dad's name because the
What's the
girl
dad's
is like
name?
Lauren? I
Mr.
don't
Covington.
remember.
The name's just Mr.
Mr.
Covington.
Covington. That's
Just
it.
like how a
Mr.
cat,
First
like, you
name.
know how people like name cats
Yes.
like full names. You're just like, oh, this is Mr. Covington.
This is Mr. Covington. Yeah, so that's what's going on with Ben. Let's go into something
Okay,
a
hold
little
on.
lighter.
Are you
Yes.
happy to be Team Ben?
I'm really mad about it right now, actually.
Do you wish that you traded when you had the chance?
I still don't wish I traded,
Mm,
but
that
I'm
sucks.
also still like, it's a bad time to be Team Ben. It's a
Yeah.
really bad time.
Yeah. And also, I cannot believe that they're still together.
Well, we didn't get much time between him telling her and the end of the episode. Like,
oh no, you know that Felicity's not going to leave him.
no,
know.
she's gonna be like, you made the right call. You need to focus on being a doctor.
Or she's going to be like,
you
know,
could do it, Ben.
I
You could be a good
encourage
dad.
you. Maybe you should.
Maybe you should be a good dad, and I could be the baby stepmom.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the same woman who was like, "Oh, Javier and Samuel want a baby? Sure, you can use my womb and my egg, or whatever the heck."
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a little.
Felicity
Yeah.
so pissing me off because she's a shitty artist, and then she just goes to every single and is like, "Hi, do you want to see my art projects?"
Yeah, this was so funny. Her and Owen are like deciding to go around to galleries and just bring their art in and try to get seen. And my favorite interaction was when there's this one woman who like doesn't even look up at her, and she is just like, "Please, I'm begging you to give me a chance. Just look at my art for 30 seconds. It's all I need." The woman looks at it, comes back, and she's like, Felicity immediately is like all of us, where she's like watching a TV show and she's like, "Oh, you looked at it, so now you must love it and buy it." And the woman fucking hates it. And she's
oh my
like,
god, that
"Oh."
was so
She's
funny.
like, "I never expected you to not like it."
I love, she was like, "Okay, I looked at it. You asked me to look at it for 30 seconds. I looked at it for 30 seconds. And Felicity was like, "You still don't like it? You still want to feature my shitty ass art in your art gallery?" And the one's like, "No, I have a business to run. Please leave."
So funny.
It's like, I looked at it out of because you asked me to. I looked, but nobody wants your dank ass. Oh, I just learned that dank's bad. Dank's good. Dank's good. The word dank.
Okay.
The Gen Z uses is good, but the meaning of it's bad. Anyway, your disgusting ass pinata art. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, no one wants the pinata art. And to make matters worse, her mom's in town. And her mom is like, "Girly, I'm gonna be a real estate agent and let's go into business together. We can have a mother-daughter real estate team."
I'm not gonna lie, this is a good idea because I'll tell you why. You make good money. All you have to do, Felicity, all you have to do is sell $1 million house. Literally one. You are set for the year. And then you could do your shitty art the rest of the year. You're pretty enough. You're articulate enough. Just sell one motherfucking house, Felicity. One house. And then you could do your shitty art for the rest of the year. So I don't think this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But she's very offended by it. She goes, I will not do this. That's a spit in the face.
Yeah, because Felicity sees this as like a step back for her mom. She's like, "Oh, it's like sad and like pathetic that you're doing this." And I don't want to do this.
Everybody does real estate these days. All the bitches do real estate. Everybody
sells houses.
Everybody does real estate these days, and they make banks. So you know what? They sell one motherfucking house, and then all of a sudden they can go to Aruba. Don't you want to go to Aruba, Felicity? Don't you want to go to Aruba?
Yeah,
I can't go to Aruba. I don't sell no houses.
Yeah. And I feel like Felicity is using Owen to like as like a means to back up how she already feels, where she's just like, "I want to be an artist." And Owen's like, "Your art's the best art I've ever seen. Like, you should be an artist."
Owen's a yes man. And he goes, "You are incredible. You are a star. Your art moves me. You can do anything you want. And Felicity's like eating it up. She's like, Owen believes in me, then I must be talented. Then I must be, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then Owen's like, I am really good at math, and my parents want me to be an accountant, but I won't do it. Owen, do taxes on the side. Just do it. Make your money. You are on the side. I'm going to be such a terrible, terrible mother if my kid comes to me and is like, I want to be an artist. I say, you know what? You're not going to make it, kid. Try again, Mackenzie.
I think the thing is, Jesus. I think the thing is that, like, because I understand where Felicity and her mom are coming from, frankly, where it's like you are choosing between a stable path, like a doctor, a real estate agent, something that there's always going to be a need for, something that you won't ever move somewhere and not be able to find a job, not have a reliable source of income. Whereas being an artist, especially in New York City, is like extremely competitive and difficult to get your foot in the door. I think the thing is, though, like, Felicity has something that not all of us have, and that is generational wealth. Because she is the only child of two successful people, right? We're in both her. I know her dad's a doctor. I can't remember what her mom did do before.
Be a real estate agent.
I don't even think she did something before that.
I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
But either way, like, she has generational wealth. So theoretically, she should be able to hang out in New York City for a while if her parents are willing to pay. But it doesn't sound like they are. I get it, though. Like, when you're trying to decide what to do with your life, it's like, are you a risk taker or do you like reliability? Because I think, like, there's going to come a point where you have to choose between the two, right? How rare is it that someone gets into a field that they both love and makes good, reliable money? Like, it is so rare for that to happen. So I think you have to decide, are you the type of person that can live in a little bit more of like a tumultuous financial situation? Or are you someone who's going to be a real estate agent and maybe pursue some art on the side until you get famous on TikTok and like you get a TikTok that blows up and suddenly you can quit your job and become a full-time artist?
Yeah. I think that this just goes back to, once again, our upbringings of like, I had full freedom to do whatever the fuck I wanted. So I chose an artistic career, and maybe I wish that I had more guidance or more parameters so that I can get, not that my job is not stable. I've literally been I've had the same career for 15 years nearly, and I've had the same job, been working at the same company for literally 8 years. So it's not like my job isn't stable. It is stable, but also, I don't know. I've certainly, especially graduating in 2012, I had to really like go from the ground, like the bottom up, like literally starting my career as a free intern that got a $20 lunch and train stipend. So it's just like, and that's just like how I just had to keep working and slowly going up. I'm not also somebody that like jumps jobs. So like my salary, it took a while for me to get to a point of like, oh, like I make like something that I consider decent. So, but I also think that, like, I don't know, like you said that your parents didn't really like pressure you into anything, right?
It was more so that I think they did push me to find reliable income and not necessarily pursue something that was like wild, you know? But they weren't ever like, no, you can't do that, or that's a terrible idea. I think they were always supportive in the way they could be. But yeah, it was always on the back of my mind as someone who grew up without like a ton of money. It was always in the back of my mind that a job that I wanted, a reliable job. I wanted a job that was like stable, which
Money
is probably how I ended up in insurance. But
true. Money never crossed my mind ever when picking a major or a career.
That's
which is
crazy.
insanity. I didn't even think about it. Like, I
Yeah.
just, like, didn't. And, like, once again, I think that just speaks to our upgrade. Adam says I was born rich. I was not born rich, but obviously
I would
more.
probably say more like comfortable than like anything. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
that wasn't a thought in your mind, then you probably were comfortable to a certain extent. And like, unfortunately, right, that's not everyone's lot in life. But like Felicity comes from like a very privileged place.
Yeah.
But
I was
now,
born from a
yeah, but now she's like, it's like her parents, ever since she hasn't gone down the path her parents thought she would or wanted her to, they've pushed back on her. Like even when her mom sees her little like negatives or whatever they're called of her art, she wasn't impressed. Maybe she showed her the piñata stuff.
Yeah, it's not impressive, and she was not impressed, which
Yeah.
is understandable. I don't know. I mean, we've been saying this since the beginning of basically once she left her doctor major. I just think that having something a little bit more focused, like we've said this a billion times, if she was studying art, but then also taking teaching classes on the side or taking therapy classes on the side, be an art therapist, be an art teacher, be, you have something in your back pocket, business, so that you can like get into like gallery stuff. Like if you had something in your back pocket that wasn't just art, then I feel as though her parents would be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. So that's what Felicity has going on. As a brief little footnote, speaking of doctors, Elena does get into med school, which is very exciting for
Good.
her.
I'm glad that we heard something from Elena that is actually like exciting, but
Yeah, because we've
also
gotten no storylines with her. So it's like,
Mhm.
well, I guess at least she's getting into med school. And she like, I love when she was like, I'm gonna go call my dad. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was very sweet because we know her relationship with her dad. It's not enough, in my opinion, for like this is her entire storyline for the whole season. Like, I would love something else, but at least we're getting good news from Elena, I guess.
Yeah. I'm of course I'm happy that Elena got into med school. I just really wish that we got, especially for being besides Javier, only person of diversity in the entire cast. I
Yeah.
just wish that we got more from her. It's a shame that they don't utilize her more.
Yeah. We have like more of the comedic relief beat of Javier and Meghan being in the same drama class together, and Javier continuously saying that Meghan is like the character Margot from All About Eve, which offends Meghan because I guess she's like kind of mean and
I mean,
know.
Megan's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Don't like Megan, you know this. If you thought that you were nice, then why you act that way all the time? You literally
Yeah.
stole or used Felicity's refrigerator for your
With your
panties.
underpants. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem comes in because I think it was funny the first time Javier mentioned it. I feel like it starts to become a problem when like literally every person that walks through their door, Javier is like, look, isn't this just like Meghan? Look how much of a bitch she is. Isn't that Meghan?
I mean, it's annoying. It's annoying. It certainly is. And she could be offended by it, but also look inward on why he is calling you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying, but also she did a phenomenal job in the acting scene. She's certainly a better actress than Javier. No
Yeah.
offense to Javier.
Yeah, this is like she says like she only needs this class to graduate. That's like why she's taking it. But I feel like we found Megan's like secret calling. Like
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think that because we've said like maybe she'll be a teacher because she's great with kids. Like there's something there. Like we didn't really know what she would do. I've always felt like she made her own clothes. Like that's impressive. She reinvents her style a lot, but that could also work well with like being generally in the arts. I think made sense for her. Now seeing like the acting thing, maybe that's where she ends up ultimately.
I think that's interesting because I think that like actors need a certain amount of like fluidness to transform into one character to another. And maybe she'll be like one of those like those meta actors that pretend like really, really get into their characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was excited to see it. I did like how they eventually made up. Like she gave him a little trophy and everything.
That was a cute trophy. Yeah,
Yeah.
go for Javier, #1 best actor,
Yes.
I guess.
So that was nice. It's whatever. Again, I still think they're maybe giving Javier a bit too much, but at least this was like supposed to be comedic this time.
Mhm.
So whatever. Then Noel and Sean, they are now competing with the company Noel used to work for a job for graphic design.
Mhm.
And Noel bumps into the girl he like wanted to sleep with, who was the boss's daughter. And they end up like getting offered a job as a contractor for hire, essentially, by the company. And Sean's like very excited about this because he's like, well, this is great. First of all, it's some money in the meantime, but also we could steal all their clients.
Perfect. And then he's like, just kidding. We won't do that. But honestly, we'll kind of do that, but we won't.
Yeah. And the thing is, this lady, she like makes it, I don't know. I feel like she leads Noel on a little bit. Like she like wants to go on a date with him, but then as soon as they go out, she's like, well, BT dubs, I'm actually seeing someone, but I really want to be friends. And Noel has like PTSD from Felicity. It's like, no, I don't want the friend zone again.
Yeah, he's like, I already have a friend. Thank you.
Uh-huh. So funny.
Yeah,
So
so he
funny.
puts the brakes on it. And at first he didn't want to work for that company because of this conflict of interest. But then when he
Mhm.
found out that the girl is in a relationship, he's like, okay, we'll take the job. So then he goes and takes the job. And then when he shows up, then the girl's like, I broke up with my boyfriend. So now we can go on a date. So now he's like definitely in this pickle of like, you know, he already crossed the line with her. That's the reason why he got fired from this firm in the first place, because he hooked up with the boss's daughter.
Yeah.
So and now he's just like in this like really awkward situation. I just feel like I don't know, like this girl seems nice enough, but I don't want him to blow this because excuse me, because it seems like a good opportunity for both him and for Sean.
Yeah. It's I hope he doesn't do something stupid. He probably will cuz he's Noel.
He's a dummy.
But
They're all
yeah,
dummies. Everyone's stupid.
at least he's making money now.
Yeah, they have a salary allegedly.
So, which he should be able to, I don't know, move out of the loft. Like, why are you still living there?
Because Sean's not kicking him out.
Oh my god, ridiculous. So, that's the episode of Felicity. It's a shit show. It's a shit show right now. Like,
Yeah.
we need to just get like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know,
what
and
are we
I
actually doing?
don't think that they know what they're doing, honestly, either. I think that they're just like a little lost in the sauce. I think that
Yeah.
we're towards the end of this series. We have like 10 episodes left, I think, maybe 11, and I just think that they're just a little, like I said, lost. Like I think that they're just trying to scrape stuff together. And I think like
Yeah.
a lot of shows when they're in their last season, especially college shows. I mean, college is 4 years. You've pretty much done all the things. Now it's time to like go off to the workforce, but also they've basically been like little adults for the last
Yeah.
4 years. So I don't know. I think that I'm interested to see how things are wrapping up, but we're definitely kind of losing. I think the show would have benefited for with a shortened season 4.
Oh, I
season.
agree completely because it
Yeah.
feels like we're just padding out the
Mhm.
end game.
Yeah.
Which is a little frustrating. I guess we have a big story moment here with, Ben impregnating
Yeah,
Loring, but like,
we should care, and neither of us do.
yeah, that's the problem. That's truly the problem. So that's our episode. Let's get into some feedback because I'm so curious what DBK has to say about Ben this episode because I know it's not going to be good and I kind of can't wait for him to rip him apart. So let's see what he has to say.
What up, though, ladies? All right. We'll get it out of the way quick. Javier, Meghan, great little side plot that doesn't matter. Funny stuff. I know nothing about All About Eve. I'm gonna try and watch it before you guys record this. If I do, I will report back what I think. Yeah. Jamie, just for you gotta always remember when critiquing Ben, you gotta factor in that he throws a dope ass party. Cause like major thing for the ladies. Anyway, speaking of Ben, like let's clap it up for Ben. I mean, top notch stuff from Ben Covington this week. You know, father to be. I'm very excited for this pod and to hear like the hoops you guys are gonna jump through to like give Ben a pass. And I just would like to point out that you wanted Noel to be a father to a kid that wasn't even his. So like that's where the bar is for me. So you know, I'm can't wait to hear your thoughts on Ben not wanting to be a dad. You know, wrap it up, Ben. Be smart, but I guess you know, Ben pre-med doesn't think. I guess. Anyways. Oh, and also, I just would like to point out at the end of this episode, for a guy that hates when you throw the word love around to get away from a problem, you gotta love that he does it here once again. Ben Covington, everybody. Oh, it is. Are we going back to back to back with my boy Noel? Noel running season 4, the terrible season of Felicity. Noel just racking up the points. Anyways, till next week, ladies. Peace. Ben Covington sucks.
Yeah. And new. Okay, are we going to give the point to Ben? Noel again? Yeah, why not? Sure.
He did get a new job. He's securing some money. I'm trying to think of who. There's Meghan, but I feel like she kind of is a little nasty to Javier. There's Javier, but he is annoying Meghan. Felicity does dumb shit, so definitely not her. Definitely not Ben. I mean, the only other person in the running would be like Elena for getting into med school.
Exactly, but we saw her in like literally one season. One scene.
Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with giving it to Noel, honestly. Like, he's making good decisions, which he so rarely does. It feels like a good opportunity.
It is all green to be a team Noeler.
There you go. Okay, let's see what Temmie has to say about this episode.
What Ben said to Lauren about the paternity test is as bad as mansplaining gets. He's just so afraid that he can't listen. Try listening. I'm a practical guy. Maybe Felicity's parents were right to be concerned. She's smart and organized, and I think she can do 2 things at once, in my opinion, if she wanted to work and be an artist. Work in a field like real estate. The only problem in this episode is she's doing a bad Joey Potter impression. Joey always took advice from Bessie, Jen, Dawson, whomever, internalized the message, and improved her position in situations. Felicity in this episode, she just keeps quoting Owen and his quote about Cezanne, who needed to have to work at it to eventually get noticed in the art world. So I have 2 questions. How do you take advice and how do you give advice? And also, do you like when men provide solutions rather than listen? And how often does that happen to you? I guess it was more than 2 questions. It's about time for Elena to take the ecstasy from Jen that Drew gave Jen so she can exit the show if they have nothing for her. Elena, I mean. She can celebrate getting into med school like Andy was celebrating getting into Harvard. Thanks. Bye.
That's a good call with the Elena Andy comparison. Okay, the advice question, Sarah.
I think that I could give decent advice. I think that in my years of wisdom, I think I've discovered that people don't really want advice all the time. They just want to be heard. So I'm okay with giving my opinion, but ultimately I know that my friends are just going to do what's best, like in like what they want to do. So, and then I feel like I have also done that as well. Like people could tell me what they think, but like until you're ready to do what you're asking advice for, what's coming to mind is like relationship advice or my previous engagement. Like, you know, like I feel like until I was ready to move forward, I like nobody could have said nothing to me. But
Mhm.
so I don't know. Like I feel like I'm decent, but I also feel like people kind of, I mean, a lot of people, not everybody, kind of just want to be told what they want to be heard. Want to, you know, they want to be told what they want to hear at times. But I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe that's not totally accurate. I guess it depends.
Yeah, it's really tough because I feel like I think romantic advice is some of the hardest to both give and receive.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like if you're talking other subjects,
Yeah, like
yeah,
career. Like I've definitely
yeah,
given advice to like people that are in the same field as me and like
right.
giving like I've given pretty decent advice I think to one of my colleagues who I supervise. So
Mhm.
yeah, and like I've given like decent like it just like depends, but you're right. I think like relationship advice is like hard. And then in terms of
Yeah.
like Adam is definitely like a person that has had to learn that like sometimes I just want to be heard or like complain. Like I don't always want to like have somebody problem solving for me. And I think like
Mhm.
his natural instinct is trying to problem solve. And I think that's something that like a lot of people struggle with in
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like it's the question of, okay, do you just want to vent or do you actually want like to be
Hmm.
offered solutions?
Yeah.
Because there are times where it's like I just want to scream into the void. Like I'm not
Yeah.
looking for someone to fix my problems. I'm just looking to vent about them. Because either I know the solution or like there is no solution or, you know, whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, that's interesting because I think Will's inclination is to help, to offer to help.
Hmm.
But he's gotten really good at like knowing when I'm just venting. Like I'm not actually looking for a solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Because it can be hard. It can be hard to know the difference. And I think like I honestly and truly believe like the secret sauce or like the number one key to like a good relationship is communication
Hmm.
and like being able to say things to each other like not with the purpose of hurting one another but to like okay, I'm just trying to understand how you're thinking because we're all like so different with different experiences and so it's really hard until you like truly know a person to understand exactly how they're thinking but maybe even
Yeah.
more importantly like why they're thinking the way they are, like
Yeah.
what is their history that has led to like them thinking that thing.
Yeah.
um anyway, so yeah, I think giving relationship advice is the hardest advice to give, but I think it's the hardest advice to receive as
Yep.
well.
I think so
Um,
too.
because I think like it's not often that outsiders know the true extent of any relationship that they may be
Mhm.
commenting on. You just don't know. If you're not in it, then you probably don't know, even if you've been in a similar situation. Everybody's so different. So yeah, I'm like you. I think that like there are certain points in my life where I probably would have like rejected if someone had tried to give me advice. But I think with age, like comes a little bit more wisdom and like knowing that there are some people who may know better than you in certain circumstances, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Great questions, Tammy, as always. Always so impressive with your questions. Um, we did get an email from Jamie, who says that opening scene with Ben, Felicity, and Noel, hanging out, hanging out being cool is so unrealistic to me. And why
Yeah.
is Noel still living in the loft? Wasn't he supposed to move out? Why on earth would he still want to live with Ben, especially now that he's back with Felicity? What happened to his boundaries?
No boundaries. We forget them.
Yeah,
It's just too convenient for the show to have everybody in one place. That's
exactly.
that's the thing.
Could we have gotten a few more episodes of Ben and Felicity in a honeymoon phase before they threw Lauren's pregnancy at us? The show has spent the last 2 seasons just throwing one obstacle after another at them. I miss their fun, playful banter like when they broke into the pool in season 2. Also, how was Lauren 4 months pregnant? They slept together after Thanksgiving and the new semester just started, so it would be around January. The timeline is way off.
It's sus. Wait, let's see. November to December. It's 3 months.
Like 3 months.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we know the paternity test came in. So
it depends. Ben is the father.
Yes. What is up with both of Felicity's parents wanting to follow in their footsteps? First, her father wants her to be a doctor like him, and now her mother wants her to be a real estate agent like her. This may be an unpopular opinion, but Felicity is an only child, and the Porters are pretty well off. Why can't they just help her while she pursues her dream, at least for a period of time? Her parents' support is always so conditional. I was happy to see Owen again. I like his and Felicity's friend chemistry, and he's so supportive and encouraging, and I loved all the advice he was giving her. What he said is true. Financial security doesn't always mean happiness and should go after what she thinks will make her happy.
Sounds like Jamie is like a real Felicity stan.
I agree with Jamie, though, about like her parents' support being conditional. Like, it's always felt like it's like, do what we say or what we want for you, or we're not going to support you. We're going to judge you. We're going to like send you clippings of other people becoming doctors, like very passive aggressively.
Yeah.
Like, that's unfair to Felicity to put like that much weight on her shoulders. But I do think like, and it's so hard, Sarah, for me to separate the fact that like, we are living in a world that is so much different than the world that the show takes place in the 90s. Like, in 2025, I would be hard pressed to say that I could be happy without some sort of financial security. Like, not that money buys you happiness, but it buys you like less anxiety and like less stress about the future in a certain way. So I think the way we look at this is just bound to be much different than the characters probably.
Yeah.
Jamie continues, on a final note, I haven't really agreed with your takes the last few episodes, but one thing I did agree with was how they are giving Javier too much.
Yeah.
And I would also add Sean to that. They work best in small doses as comic relief, not with their own storylines. I also think Sean limits what they could do with Meghan, especially now that they're married. Meghan is an interesting character, and the show could do so much more with her if she wasn't married.
That is true. That's true.
I agree. I think like, I don't necessarily think like the marriage ruined things, but I think like they're only, besides this episode is the outlier. Beyond this episode, they're only giving Meghan scenes with Sean and like vice versa. And that really plateaued both of the characters, I think.
Yeah.
But that's our episode. That's our feedback. Send in more, shit90spod.com, shit90spod@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube. You could see my new art that feels like a really bad time to display it, but here we are. And Sarah, do you want to know what the next episode title is?
Yeah, of course.
Season 4, episode 13, Kiss and Tell.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Who's kissing? Who's telling?
Who's kissing?
I feel like we've already kissed and told. Noel kissed and told.
Many. Yeah.
Oops, Noel did again. That was an episode.
Oops, Noel did it again.
Again. Yeah. Can you imagine? That would be wild.
I really can imagine. So we'll see what happens next episode. In the meantime, we hope you all are doing well, and listen to the Buffy coverage we have going on. Listen to Whirlwind Podcast. There's a ton of stuff going on over there, and I think that's about it. You have anything else you want to say, Sarah? Any more about your loopies?
No, I gotta do my 5 loops today. So
okay, Sarah has to go do her loopies to get to Paris, just like Joey Potter. It all comes back around, baby.
Yeah. Just like Joey Potter, I gotta get to Paris.
Yep. All right, everyone. We'll be back next week with season 4, episode 13 of Felicity. Until then, have a good one. Bye.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.